It's been a while, but it's now finally time for another Magic Monkeys only run to see how far we can get in this game mode. We've played this category twice before, both times on this map, so I'm sticking to it. The first time was in update 35, where we got to round 258, and then we replayed the same challenge again in update 37 when the Wizard Paragon was released and the Ninja Paragon got buffed to give camo to all towers and have the Grand Sabo effects permanently. In that run we made it 21 rounds further, reaching round 279. Today we're choosing to do the challenge again because once more we've got some new changes that may help us get even further. First of all, we now have the cash injection system for Paragons, which allows us to have degree 91 Paragons instead of degree 76. This won't only make them attack faster, but also give the Wizard Paragon shorter cooldowns, which is very important because his morph ability is super strong and will often be what saves you, but the ability normally has a very long cooldown. We also have a new tower, the Mermonkey. The top path won't be of much help because the pierce buff that it gives isn't really helpful for us in this challenge, because we need single target damage. As for the middle path, it will give some okay damage, but it won't make a big difference. The real prize here is the bottom path. The final harmonic gives a 15% ability cooldown reduction to heroes in its range, and this will be huge for Isili, allowing us to use her Hex a lot more, which is our most important damage dealer. The final harmonic also triggers damage over time attacks to deal all their damage at once. The Wizard Paragon's ability that summons zombie blimps also applies a damage over time to nearby blimps, but it's only applied once. So while the Mermonkey will cause this to be applied instantly, it won't deal more damage overall like it would when paired with, say, a Boomerang Paragon. We also got the Paragon of Power Monkey Knowledge in update 39 that causes Paragons to attack 20% faster if no tier 5 of that tower is on the screen, or closer to 24% with some other Monkey Knowledge points. Another incredible change is that the Druid's ability now triggers every other Druid's ability, so you won't have to spam the ability button. Just like last time, the only method of farming, except for the rubber to gold, is to spam the middle path Druids, and doing so was very painful because I had to press the ability button over 20,000 times, which caused me to give up on my farming earlier than I would have needed to because my fingers were literally hurting from all the fingering. You'd think I'd be used to that by now. We begin the game with our hero, a few druids, and 2 rubber to golds to get our farming started. You can deal with camos by using Isili's totem to give camo detection to your druids, but if you mess up the timings, like me, you can just go ahead and place a 0/2/2 wizard for now. Once we have a bit of money saved up, we will sell off a couple of our druids to get the tier 5 Spirit of the Forest just before the round ends. This is because the Spirit of the Forest gives 1k per round on top of the ability money, so we want to get this one as soon as we can, and then we get back to building more druids. Because of the nice quality of life change regarding the druid ability, I'm just going to tech bot one of my druids and then trigger all of the abilities at once, so this time I won't have to press the ability button at all. The spirit will be able to handle DDTs until you get to about round 99, then you can get some bottom path wizards to help easily decamo the DDTs and cross path some of the druids with one top path upgrade so they can pop lead. Then I got myself a dark champion to have some extra defense. A bit later I also started on getting all of my tier 5 wizards for even more defense and to start farming pops for the Paragon. Then I placed my ninja army with all tier 5 ninjas and 20 shinobis along with the permabrew. The permabrew got its range increased in update 35, the first time we did this challenge, but it was just reduced back to normal in the most recent one, update 44, so that means we won't be able to permabrew quite as many towers as last time. After I finished filling up the map with druids, I also tech botted the Wizard Lord Phoenix ability and the Grand Sabo, and then I just sat back and used Isili's Hex whenever I saw a bad coming, and I kept this up until round 219 where I could no longer survive the rounds even though I got the Mermonkey near Isili to lower her cooldown. So here's where I got the Ninja Paragon to degree 91. I decided to get the army of ninjas back despite this removing the 20% attack speed bonus of the Ninja Paragon. Without Homeland and TSG buffs and Ultra Boost, etc., this is surely not worth it in terms of damage, but it will stall everything other than bads. The only other option for stalling is the Mermonkey, but it's not nearly as good, and you would have to place a lot of them near the center of the map to get any useful effect, and their footprint is quite large. At round 262 we got the Wizard Paragon also to degree 91 and also a Superstorm near the end that can blow back the insides of bads that pop late. Not long thereafter we break the previous round of 279 and we haven't even stopped farming yet. But once I reached round 287 I ran into a brick wall where I needed a lot more defense to beat it, so here I sold all of my druids and ended up with 3 million to build my setup. I also got a true Sun God near the center, which is a pretty bad damage to price ratio because you can only sacrifice magic towers to it, but it's still a pretty good damage to footprint ratio, and we also make sure it's just in range of the permabrew. We got a druid army next to the ninjas, a few bottom path mermonkeys in the back to help prevent leaks from bads popping late, just like the Superstorm, and then an army of shinobis with some bloon jitsus and the total transformation. We also got the Legend of the Night, the anti-bloon, and a lot of sun avatars with stronger stim alks here and there, and also the Poseidon and the Lord of the Abyss. I ran out of money, so I will continue to upgrade more of the supers to sun avatars as I go along. The Wizard Paragon is going to be set to strong most of the time for its morph ability, but I will need to micro it later on for the tougher rounds. For the first time ever, we finally have a chance at reaching round 300 plus in this challenge. Almost every round from this point will need to be played at least twice because you need to see the round first in order to know the bloons that are coming so you can time your abilities well. On the really tough rounds you need to not only time all of your abilities really well, but you also need to micro the wizard's targeting and the Seelis targeting to sometimes focus first rather than strong depending on the order and spacing of the bads that spawn. Eventually I finally did reach round 300, a pretty cool milestone for this game mode. But after reaching this round, the game gets a lot harder a lot faster, so now it won't be long before we run into a round that will be completely unbeatable. At round 302, we needed to use the Legend of the Night's passive black hole ability to safely leak a lot of the bads at the end of the round. The cooldown for this is 3 minutes, and it cannot be affected by selling and rebuying the tower. Round 304 was also completely unbeatable unless using the Legend of the Night, but unfortunately it was not off cooldown yet as I didn't pay attention to when I had last used it. Also, last time we tried this, I sold and rebought Seelie to spam her Hex ability to push a few extra rounds, which I could have done here too had I sold the True Sun God and some Sun Avatars for the cash to do so, but again I accidentally died on 304. Anyway, it was a lot of fun to revisit this challenge once again, and I'm very happy that we made it past round 300. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.